welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about geek magic. I have to admit, when I first heard the term geek magic, my mind immediately went to people with thick glasses, wearing pocket protectors, that kind of geek. But that's not at all what is meant by geek magic. So let me share with you some history here. I did a video a while ago on bizarre magic, one of my favorite genres of magic. So I did a video on bizarre magic, and this person named Jay Esquivel, thank you so much, Jay, by the way, for watching. Thank you so much, Jay, for commenting. Thank you for sharing. You've inspired this video. And you know what? You can too. Those of you watching, you comment down below, you ask me a question, and I will address it in a future video. It might not be the next week or the next 2 or 3 weeks, but I'll get to it. I can guarantee you that. So Jay asked me this question. He says, under bizarre magic, he says geek magic is a part of that, implying that geek magic is a part under the umbrella of bizarre. I'm not sure that I agree that it's under the umbrella of bizarre, but it is, in its own right, a genre of magic. And I like to deal with it as such in this video. There was a discussion board, I forget which one it was, a Theory 11, I believe it was. Theory 11 said the term geek is referring to a freak who will basically eat anything, live snakes, rats, whatever. Geek magic is loosely based off of this definition. Geek magic is any form of magic that involves freak show style effects. I really love that definition. Now, Jay pointed out that Harry Anderson has done geek magic. And so what Harry Anderson did, if you don't recall this, he did the needle through arm trick. Now, if you've never seen this done, Harry would bare his arm. He would rub his arm a little bit. He would take a long needle and push a needle through the skin on his arm. And of course, it would bleed. And he'd pull the needle out and he'd rub it, and he would be completely healed. When Harry Anderson first did this, it was a storm. Every dealer was stocking it. Every magician was doing it. It caused a sensation. Now, this is going back a few years now, but it did. Every magician had one, I guarantee you. Very similar. Now, we don't see this much anymore because we don't have celebrity magicians the way we used to. David Copperfield used to do an annual special, and everybody watched. Doug Henning before him did the annual special, and when they did a practical effect, not the grand big illusions that you need a full stage for, but when they did a practical effect like the crazy man's handcuffs or the $100 bill switch, even cardiographic was very popular because David Copperfield performed it. When this would happen, it caused a sensation, and Harry caused a sensation when he did what is essentially a geek magic effect, the needle through arm. Now, Harry Anderson did a video. I'm going to put a lot of links down below, by the way, because this is a genre of magic, and in order to appreciate what it is, you have to watch it. So I'm going to put a number of links down below. I would encourage you to go click on those and watch for yourself. Now, Harry Anderson, when he was presenting the needle through arm, and I got the link down below, he said this. Now, this is a direct quote from Harry Anderson. When I talk geek, I'm not talking about the pencil neck in school who never got dates. I mean, a geek is a guy who used to work in a circus sideshow. They would do strange stunts in a sideshow. They would bite the heads off of chickens. They would take a live rat or snake, they would hold it by its tail and they would swallow it. Then they'd wait and they'd bring it back up, and it would of course still be alive sometimes. They would take a sixpenny nail and pound it up their nose. They would eat glass or drink kerosene, that sort of thing. That's geek magic. And then Harry went on to demonstrate the needle through arm, which was grisly and gross and, you know, it's horrible. But that's what geek magic is. It has a visceral effect on the audience. They go, ooh, you know, ooh, that's the reaction you're kind of going for when you do a geek effect. You're going for that visceral, emotional reaction to something that is so out of the ordinary. There are a few resources I want to recommend to you. There's a DVD called Geek Magic by Tomas Medina that is available from Vanishing Magic Inc. And he goes into how to apparently shove Tic Tacs in your eyes, drink motor oil, drink the spit of several members of your audience, and even produce live bugs. So hey, if that's your thing, man, check out that DVD from Tomas Medina. Then you have Mark James Live. Mark James, by the way, does one of the best teach-ins on the blockhead illusion I've ever seen. If you're interested in driving a long nail up your nose with a hammer or anything else, check his presentation out. It's quite good. The Indian bead mystery is taught by Tommy Mullica. Tommy Mullica, in all the cigarette stuff he did, and the Indian bead mystery is absolutely disgusting. But I mean, it's the kind of thing that you will watch and you'll forget about time. You'll forget about everything else because you'll be so engrossed in the performance. You know, it's disgusting magic, but it will hold your attention, I promise you. I think Tommy Mullica was probably one of the early magical magician geek performers. He did a lot of that kind of stuff. So you got Tommy Mullica. Then you have Chris Angel. Chris Angel is famous for a lot of things. But he does a certain amount of gross magic. He does a certain amount of geek magic. I have a video down below of him doing the razor blade trick. Eating razor blades, pulling them out of his mouth. Unlike most other performers who do the effect, when Chris Angel is pulling the razor blades out of his mouth, they're cutting his mouth and he's bleeding. So, you know, again, if that's your thing, go for it. Dan Sperry. Dan Sperry on Fool Us did just an amazing, he takes a quarter, he has the corner marked, and she marks it, help me, because she needs, you know, she's scared to death of this guy. He shoves it in his eye. Allegedly it goes through his eye, down into his stomach, where he takes a knife and he cuts his stomach and he pulls it out of his bloody stomach. You know, so that's Dan Sperry on Fool Us. I got the link down below. And then, if you really want to see it, I demonstrated the blockhead illusion on this channel. So I put that link down below too, so you can watch me pounding a nail up my nose and pulling it back out. So folks, that's Geek Magic. I hope you've enjoyed this little introduction. You know, I haven't gone out of my way too much to strictly define it. Hopefully I have defined it a little bit. I think bizarre magic certainly can. If you love bizarre magic, at some point you're probably going to do a geek effect. But I'm not sure that in my mind, they're not the same. They're not the same. Bizarre magic relies on storytelling. It relies on context. It takes a it wants to infuse the magic with meaning. Whereas geek magic is relying on that visceral moment, you know, when you just ooh, that's geek magic. So Jay, thank you again for asking about this. Thank you for the dialogue that you've opened up. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you've not done so already. Please comment down below. I love your comments. Thank you so much for being with me. I appreciate you. Have a great day.